Inspired Conversations, number 23. Are we always manifesting every day? We've just been listening to a chat by Christie Marie Sheldon and very, very inspired by this one. And, there's a few things she said in there that I've just loved. And it's things that we've heard before, but it's just that wonderful reminder of every moment in every day based on where our thoughts are at, where our energy is at, how we're feeling. That is creating our life, our reality, what is going to happen next.
And just to add to that, how she talks about it's the energy that we have, that we are having those thoughts, that is really creating that manifestation. So if we've got negative energy towards something, then we're going to manifest the opposite. Whereas if we've got loving, positive energy towards it, then it manifests in a good way.
Well, it makes you realise that it's not only your thoughts in those moments that are important, it's really your energy. And your energy is made up of a whole lot of past beliefs, which is heavy energy. And until you can let some of that go or work on changing that energy, it makes it very difficult to change your thoughts because it's always there. So I really do believe you need to do energy work, even if that's just meditation or awareness or, being in the moment. But while being in the moment, being able to see what is actually happening in the moment. It's all key. It's just not, I don't believe it's just, where your thoughts are at. I believe you need to connect to yourself on a deeper level to really feel it and not just always be in the mind.
Yeah, well, the stories that have created our lives, our childhood stories, our adolescent stories, all our past stories are not only thoughts, but energetically stored in our body.
Yeah.
And I also believe that, Eckhart Tolle talks about, it's very much just about being in the present moment. But I think, until you're really a lot more familiar with what that feels like, you are still coming from your stories. You're still coming from, those thoughts seem like real thoughts because they're very real at the time. So and the interesting thing, which I love what Christie Marie talks about is in terms of how different stories or things like anger, they have very low energy.
Yeah.
There's a low energy to them, whereas when we're thinking of things such as love or gratitude, there's a much higher vibration. It's a very, very high energy. And it's, you're looking at, the difference between water and steam. It's just, steam has this amazing quality of it's this vapor, and whereas water's just that static, still sits in a glass.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how, she talks about the different thoughts, different stories have got different energy associated with them.
But it's really important to pay attention to those thoughts and those stories and know that you can change what is going off in your head, which will change your energy. So it's just, and that can be so difficult to do. And until you even hear that concept, you just let those stories play out. And
absolutely. And if you're wanting to check in with yourself now, are those stories true? Because, truth is light, whereas lies are heavy.
Yeah, so if you're feeling all of this heavy energy, it's about, well, what is this about? Is this actually true? And then somehow working with that to let it go or reframe it in your mind better, or just go, what, that's really bullshit. That's just a creation of a story I was told as a child. And you know what? That really isn't the way it is. And it's time to let that go. And then you embrace a lighter expression of that. Actually, what I really loved that she said was, when you're clearing all of this stuff out, then what happens to that cleared space? Do you need to fill it up with anything? And it's like, we are all infinite beings, and our infinite being will just fill that space. So you don't need to worry. It's like just clearing out all the other stuff makes room for who you actually are, and it just comes in more and more.
Yeah, I love that. I also, adding on that, the concept of if you think about our bodies in terms of being a lot of liquid, or we're very much made up of water. And, when we're really thirsty, it's, we want to quench that thirst. We need to rehydrate. I love how, if you think of that in terms of energy, our body's the same thing. I mean, water's something we can physically understand. But at a science level, energy is exactly the same. We are also energy, and we are thirsty for energy.
Yes.
So if our bodies are full of old stories, and a lot of low energy, that's why we're wandering around tired. We're wandering around in a daze. We're looking for a pick-me-up. We're looking for another coffee or a chocolate bar or something stronger.
Yeah. So we have to find a way to allow that new energy in, to open up to new energy.
And energize ourselves, because our bodies crave light, and energy is expansive and light. It's not heavy and dense. And, isn't it amazing just learning about this stuff? I wish I'd known earlier.
Yeah. There was one more other thing she said, which was that as you get older, you actually have more, you kind of get more baggage, you get more beliefs, or you become more aware of those beliefs, or those beliefs start playing out over and over. So the more you can let go of that, the more freedom you have. That's why as kids we do have less baggage, because, when I was young, I was like, yeah, I'll move to the other side of the world, I moved to, and there was no, I just went, yeah, cool. And there was no question. You just go, great, that sounds good. All by myself, 17, 18, no worries. But as you get older, I guess you do have more responsibilities, but it does that you can find other ways, even if you do have responsibilities, to make that happen in a much easier, lighter flow. Let's do that, be inspired by that, as opposed to, oh, but what about this and this? And so just letting go of that stuff gives you more freedom. And who doesn't want more freedom? Who doesn't want to feel more freedom within themselves? Because it is a much lighter way of being. You can have more fun in that state.
Yeah, I love it.